Seventh grade, we are in chapter 26 today in the book of Numbers. And we saw that yesterday God judged the people who decided that they were going to do as they pleased, that they were going to have wives and girlfriends that had nothing to do with the Lord, and that they were going to worship their gods. And God was like, "No, you're not and be here." And a plague broke out. We're going to see. And Phineas actually killed both of the man and the woman who were basically in your face, okay, daring to be the example of liberation, that they wanted to do as they please, that they wanted to have total freedom as they wanted to do. And so um, we're going to see that after the plague, okay, lots of people died, and after the plague, God does another census. So remember, this is the book of Numbers. You have a census at the beginning and at the end. This is the new generation. Okay, as they have been wandering in the wilderness and people have been dying. This is now a new, and lots of people were judged and killed. Lots of people died with Korah. There have been multiple times that God has had uh, to bring plagues and snakes and every imaginable thing, and there's been many that's died that was numbered originally, and so there is a new numbering. So let's look at this together. Chapter 26. Came to pass after the plague that the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying, Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward throughout their fathers' houses, all that are able to go to war in Israel. Moses and Eleazar the priest spake with him in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses, the children of Israel, which came forth out of the land of Egypt. Okay, so let's see where they are. They have battled Agag and Og. They have whooped the Moabites. They have whooped the Amalekites. They are on the east coast of the Jordan River, and Canaan is on the west side. All right, so they are there. They are at the doors. And at the end of the book of Numbers, okay, so they're here. They're going to take another census. These are the people who are going to go into the promised land. God promised, and he's going to do it. And it doesn't even matter that all of these people are sinning against God. God can still keep his word to Abraham. And so he's going to get them in. Now, many of the people who decided to be God's enemies, they didn't go in. But those that were faithful to the covenant, God was faithful to the covenant. And I am so thankful that God is faithful to his promise to Christ, my Savior, so that even when I'm not faithful, God is faithful. That is remarkable. That is the hope of our faith. It's not that we're good or that we're good enough, because if I had faith in my ability to be good, I should have no faith at all. But in God's ability to do everything he said, you can depend. When God says that he's going to do it, it's going to be done. It's same as done, right? So we're going to see that at the end of the book of Numbers, the next book is Deuteronomy, and Deuteronomy is one speech that Moses gave. They don't move, they don't do anything. They're on the west coast of the Jordan, or I'm sorry, the east coast of the Jordan, across from Jericho, just like it says here in verse 3. And Moses and Eleazar spake with him in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. So they're across from Jericho. Jericho will be the first city that they battle when they go in. So this is happening just within short time. From now till the book of Joshua, we're talking about weeks, okay? Just a few weeks, maybe even just a few days, all right? So we're going to have another census, and these are the people that the fathers, remember, said, you're going to take our wives and children and make them a prey. And God said, oh no, I'm taking them in. The ones that you said will be a prey, they'll see, but you will not. Now, this is 40 years later. So 40 years has occurred during this book. So it doesn't seem like it because it just goes from one chapter to another chapter. But this is years and years and years and decades are passing. Okay. This would be like starting this book in the 70s and just now getting to Jericho. Okay. Or 1980. This would be like when Star Wars came out, when original Star Wars came out till now. That's how long these people have been wandering in the wilderness since the time that they decided that they could not go in because they had no faith. All right, so they've been wondering, and all these people have been dying. Now these are the ones that are now 20 years old and up, and they are the ones that are going to take the land, and they're going to have to fight for it. Interesting lesson for me and for you. Here's 4. Take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses, and the children of Israel which went forth out of the land of Egypt. Reuben, the eldest son of Israel, the children of Reuben. Okay, so we're gonna fudge a little bit. You've got Reuben was the firstborn. Here are the family heads. Okay, and the families were, and then this is the census again. Okay, 43,750. Okay, continuing on, Simeon. Here's the Simeon's the second born. Here are the heads of the families of Simeon. And the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. Interesting. These are a lot smaller than the original counts. These are a lot smaller. These people have been dying. They've been dying because they are old, and these were the original generation, and they died. Also, the younger ones that shouldn't have died because they sided with God's enemies and against God, they were removed. They were no longer numbered among the people of Israel. God removed they struck them out. Okay, so I have to ask myself: is my name written in the Lamb's Book of Life? Am I numbered with the people of God? That is something that I have to continuously check. Is there evidence? Can I see evidence that the Spirit is growing in me and that I have life? Do I appear in my own eyes and in other people's eyes to be alive? Right? I need to check. Death will be eternal death. Life will be eternal life. I must know, am I numbered here with the people of God? Am I counted among the people that God will rescue? So here's the second son. Here's the family. Who's the next family? Gad. This is 18. Okay. Sons of Judah. Here's sons of Judah in 19. Here are the heads of the families. Remember, Judah's been dead for hundreds of years. Okay. This is Moses now. So they remember these people went into Egypt when Joseph was in Egypt 400 years ago. So these were the heads of the families that then had children, and the families get bigger, bigger, bigger. Okay, so these were of those children that forms a tribe, and then you have all of these tribes and sub-tribes. Okay, and then we've got Judah were 16,000, so 20, 40, 60, 70, 76,500. Sons of Issachar. Okay, here are the people of Issachar. Sons of Zebulun. Issachar was 4,300. We don't count like that. That's the King James counting with scores, 7 years ago. Zebulun. Here are the families of Zebulun. Remember, Joseph is not counted among Jacob's sons. His sons are. Okay, so you have Manasseh and Ephraim. Manasseh and Ephraim and the sons of Manasseh. Here are the sons of Manasseh. And the families of Manasseh, this is 34 that were numbered, were 52,700. Not a lot. Manasseh, small tribe. Ephraim, this is the other son of Joseph. Here are the families of the heads of those clans. And then you have 32,500. Ephraim, very, very small, very small. tribe. Benjamin, here are the people that are the heads of those families, and they were 45,600. Dan, here are the family names. These are the leaders. And how many were they? 3,4,400. Asher, I like that name. Here are the family heads. The name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. Interesting. Interesting. I don't remember reading that. Here are the sons, and here's the daughter. And these are the families of the sons. Wow, why would they do that? Why would they put that in? That's interesting. I like that. 40, here's the families, and there were 53,400. Naphtali, here are the family heads, and numbered children were 600,007. Wow, that's a lot. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Unto these shall the land be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. Oh, that just gave me the chills. Oh, did you see what it just said? 53. Wow, I should paint that on my wall. Unto these the land shall be divided. Oh my goodness, I'm going to cry. These are the ones who will inherit. Ah, these are the ones that will inherit. Does that make you want to inherit? I want to inherit. Oh, I do not want to be counted among God's enemies that he throws away. I want to be ones that count in the inheritance. I want to inherit. Ah, not that I've earned anything. Christ earned it all, but he shares his with his people. What a wonderful thing. Now, these are the people who, the original ones that were counted at the beginning of the book, they thought that these people were going to be killed in their cradles or chopped to death by the armies that they were afraid of. And God said, no, 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 no. I'm going to get you in. That's the whole point. I have decided that you're going to win. It doesn't matter that it doesn't look like you're going to win. You're going to win. I've decided you're going to win. That's done. It's over. You just have to now, but you still have to fight. Okay, you still have to fight for it. You still have to want it. You still have to fight. Yeah. To many, thou shalt give the more inheritance, to the few less. Okay, remember they're going to take the land and they split it up. Everybody gets a farm. Everybody gets a farm. Every one of those names. So if you have 74,000 as opposed to 35,000, 74,000 is going to have more land because there's more people to have a farm. The fewer has less land. That's all they're saying. Everybody gets a farm. Everybody inherits. Okay, to be a person that's chosen by God, that's in the number of God's people. Okay, when the saints come marching in, oh Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints come marching in, that is what every believer wants. Okay, notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lot, according to names of the tribes of the fathers they'll inherit. Okay, so they come to the first group. Okay, so this was their great 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 grandfather. So that's a huge number of things. They're like, okay, here's a parcel of land. Now go to the next generation. Start, because everybody knew their father's grandfather's father. And they knew 50 generations back. They kept all those records. So they were like, okay, your 45th cousins, all of these people will inherit this tract of land. Okay, all of these people will inherit this tract of land. So then you're going to do it by lot. You're going to roll dice. Okay, so it's just like Risk. Can you imagine a big Risk game the size of Palestine? And I play you and you win, and I have to take the over there by the pond, and you get the awesome view. That's the way it is. God said, here's the tract according to this group of people, that's their families. They're all related. And now you throw dice. You get this farm. Now you're his neighbor. You're his neighbor. And they just drew lots. 56. According to the lot, the possession thereof is divided between many and few. And these were the names that were numbered the Levites after their families. Okay, remember, the Levites did not get a farm. They ate when people gave God their offerings. When they gave them their grain offerings, they ate bread. When they gave them their meat offerings, they ate meat. When they gave them their drink offerings, they drank. That's the way it works. Okay? So remember, these are the tribes of Levites. So you had the Kohathites, the Girgashites, and the Merarites. And they are going to be divided up, and they're going to live in towns inside the various tribes. Okay, so they're going to have a city, and that city is going to be inside, say, Judah, or inside Benjamin, or inside Asher, and there might be more than one city, and all the people in that city are going to be Levites. And that's where they live, and they're going to be given a place, but they're not given a farm. They're not going to raise their own animals. They're not going to raise their own gardens. They work for the temple, or they will, and later they work for the tabernacle. They do God's service, and they are cared for, kept by God's people. Okay, God's people, as they give their tithes, as they give their offerings, the Levites live. All right, so they live inside the other tribes. So they split them up here, the three sons, Kohathites, Merarites, Girgashites, and then they have another one here, which was Moses and Aaron's family. Remember, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam had a family, and their sons sons of Aaron will be the high priests. They will live in towns as well, so they have their own little lineage. Okay, so here is that. Remember Nahab and Abihu, they died when they offered strange fire. Miriam is already dead. And those that were numbered of that, so here's that family, were 23,000. Oh, this is interesting. This is a numbering of the Levites. But the Levites are not fighting in the wars. The Levites are only serving God. Okay? It is in serving God that the whole nation has God as their God. And God fights for them. So it's a different census. It's not the census for the army as everybody else was. This is a census just to know how many Levites do you have, and we're going to put them in the different places. These were they that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel. Okay, so this is the children of Israel has a census for the army. The other one was the Levites. But among these was not a man of them whom Moses and Aaron the priest numbered, when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. Oh, did you catch it? Not one, not even one of the ones that were in the first census is in the second. Remember, the first census was anybody 20 years old and higher, up to the fighting age, anybody that could fight in the wars. Because remember, they were 2 weeks away from the border. They went straight from the Sinai to the border. And those people should have invaded. They would have been the army. But when they were like, no, we can't do it. And they were afraid, and they were like, we're not going. And God said, fine. Every one of you will die in the wilderness, except for Joshua and Caleb. Joshua and Caleb were among those 12 spies, that generation, and they are now going to be the oldest people. Everybody else died. And everybody not yet 20. Okay, so let's say you were 19. You are now in this census, and you are going in. Everybody that was a child, anybody lower than 20, is now numbered, and those are the ones going in, not the originals, because they did not have faith. If you want to inherit, if you want to go into the promised land, if you want to go to heaven, you go to heaven by your faith. To not mix with faith what God has said and know it. God has said it, it's true, but it means nothing to you. You are not included. It is individual. Your faith is individual. Do you trust what God said? Do you trust His Savior? Do you trust him? Do you trust him as your Lord? Is he determining your life, or do you do as you please and just say, I got saved when I was 6? Well, you're an idiot. That doesn't mean anything. Those that are in God's house serve God. Those who love God love him. You can think whatever you want. 86% of the United States think they're going to heaven. Do you think 86% of the United States are going to heaven? Really? Do you think they act godly? Do you think that what have they been saved from? Have they been saved from the way they live? No. Well, then they're not saved. There is a mark. And there is a time that you cross the line. You say, no, you're on this side of the line or you're on this side of the line. And these people are going in, and their parents did not go. They died in the wilderness and were buried along the path. This is terrifying. But I have to think about it. It's important that I think. Okay? But among them were not a man that was originally numbered. For the Lord said to them, they shall surely die in the wilderness. And there was not one left of them except for, save, Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. Those two had faith. Those two went on. They inherited the land. In fact, Caleb is now 85 years old. And when they go in Joshua, Caleb takes his sword and runs across the border and up into the mountains to fight for his land. An old man, he was like, God gave me I have as much strength now as I did when I was 40. I can do it. God's with me. Bam! And he fought for it. Because faith grabs hold of what God said and doesn't let it go. Ah, I love you all. I love this. Oh, I love this. I hope you love this. I hope it's becoming delicious to you. I hope. Okay? I pray for you. I miss you. Hope you're doing good. Please don't drive your parents idiots. Please don't drive them crazy. Okay? They need you to help them. Please don't be a pain. Okay? Have a great day.